So, huge welcome. Get started, please, on your belly. And if lying down on your belly doesn't feel great for you, child's pose is also an option. When you get to your belly, you can set up a pillow for your head with your hands, if that's something that you like. You can let your arms drape down by your sides. We'll be here for just a few moments, as always, just as a way to kind of ground, to let stillness be a segue, right? It doesn't, you don't have to like it. You don't have to have an attachment to it that's like, good. Hi, Allison. We're starting on our bellies. So your experience with stillness doesn't have to be anything in particular, right? You can think it's great. You can think it's totally crappy. More than creating a hierarchy in terms of like, dislike, just be in the moment, right? You don't have to think. It's not a moment to do anything other than experience yourself. Take a few big belly breaths wherever you are, any relationship that you have to gravity. Feel your belly expand underneath you. Feel your side body widen, like you could move laterally on your mat. If your head is turned in one direction or another, just switch very gently, just switch the direction that your head is turned. Fill up the throat, fill up the throat, fill up the back of the neck. Relax your jaw, relax your shoulders. And then turn your gaze, please, so that you're resting on your right cheek. And you can make for a moment a pillow with your left hand for your right cheek, and then send your right arm out long. So not like a goalpost today, just straight out from the shoulder, like a half of the letter T. Just breathe and feel. And then let your right cheek come all the way down. Slide your left hand underneath your left shoulder head. Push yourself onto your right side body. So we'll start with a pec stretch. Please bend your knees. Bend both knees so you have like a little chair shape. And then you can set your left hand up anywhere that feels good. Your right arm might not be feeling as much sensation as it is in a goalpost. Just keep it there for a second. And then with your left knee, that's your top knee, slide your left knee beyond your right knee and then drag the knee back so your hip really comes in line, like hip bone right over hip bone. And then it's just let the movement be guided with the knee. You're just sliding the knee back towards the hip and then beyond the right knee. And this might deepen a twist for you. It might start to deepen the pec stretch for you. Just really link up your movements to your breath so that it feels connected. And as always, if there's any place that feels worth checking out in stillness, go right ahead. Take 2 or 3 more breaths here. Movement's welcome. Stillness is also welcome. And then when you feel complete, just let it go and roll back onto your belly. Send your left arm out long and turn onto your left cheek. Make a little pillow for your right hand for your cheek for a moment. And then release your cheek to the ground with your right hand. Push yourself onto your left side body Hug the knees in towards hip height. And then same action here. Just kind of slide the knee forward and back so that you're feeling kind of a middle back stretch, wherever you feel it is right. You have a few more breaths here, maybe 2, 3, 4. Stillness and movement is a choice that only you can make for yourself. And then when it feels right, come back onto your belly. Put your forehead down on the mat and bring your hands, both hands, just under the shoulder head. Zipper your inner thighs in towards the midline. Now, again, feel the belly into the mat. The next time you exhale, keep your belly toned towards your spine. And as you inhale, feel the side body expand. So let the breath just move you open more laterally. And then the next time you inhale, roll your shoulders onto your back. Lift your chest. Keep your chin tucked into the notch of your throat. So you're pushing the back of your head up and back. Baby cobra, maybe float the hands. Squeeze the elbows and the shoulders together behind you. Keep breathing into the side body. Exhale, softly put your hands down on the mat. Take an inhale, lift your chest as high as it will go comfortably. Stay out of the low back. As you exhale, push yourself up and back. Child's pose, please. Widen the knees. Bring the big toes together to touch. Walk your hands out in front of you. So seat to heels. Let your forehead come down. And then pick your right hand up off the mat. Circle it behind you. Rest the back of your hand on your sacrum. Left hand does the same thing. Left hand on top of right hand. And then let your elbows drop in. And let your shoulders really soften. And then slide your right hand back, or slide your left hand back towards the top of the mat. Tense up on fingertips for a moment, and then rock your weight from right to left. Keep your elbow up off the mat. That'll give you a big range of motion in the shoulder, maybe a little tricep stretch. Right hand finds the top of the mat as well. Tense up on fingertips if you'd like. And then we'll do the same thing starting with the left hand. Circle the left hand back behind you. Top of the hand rests on the sacrum. Right hand stacks on top of left hand. Let the elbows soften down. Give yourself a squeeze. Then right hand finds the top of the mat, tense up on fingertips. Let the weight rock down. Oh. Left fingertips find the top of the mat. Take a big breath in. Exhale, open your mouth, sigh out. Inhale your way to tabletop position. Set your hands and your knees up, just under your shoulders and your hips. Let your inhale drop your belly, lift your heart, find that cow spine. As you exhale, start to curl the tailbone down towards the knees, slowly, right? Low back, middle back, upper back finds cat pose. Let your head drop. As you inhale, tilt your tailbone up, vertebrae by vertebrae, moving slowly into cow spine. Chin lifts. One more whole cycle just like that, as slowly as you can go. The next time you exhale, curl your tailbone down, coil your right knee towards your nose. And then stay here for a moment, take a breath, squeeze your heel towards your sits bone like that you were squeezing a block or something soft between your heel and your sits bone. And then as you inhale, keep squeezing the heel towards the sits bone. Drive the knee up and back, lift your heart forward. So like cow spine with a bent knee, squeeze in. And then exhale, knee to nose, keep squeezing heel towards sits bone. My hamstring is burning. We'll do 5 of these. Inhale, heart forward. It's like the knee is kind of pointing up. Exhale, coil in. 4 more, inhale. Move at your own pace. Last 2. Good. The next time your knee is coiling in towards your nose, pause here. And then tap the right knee towards the right elbow. Slide your right shin forward. Set up for an early pigeon pose. Wiggle your left knee back. Back, back, back. Oh. And then come down onto forearms. Anything that's right. You can untuck your left toes. Let your shoulders sink. I like to kind of rock my weight from side to side here. Right? An early pigeon pose feels quite different than a warmed up pigeon pose. Get familiar with anything that feels really unfamiliar. 2 more breaths. And then it doesn't matter if your elbow's down or your hands are down. Just drop over onto your right sits bone, climb up onto your hands, circle your left foot towards the top of the mat. Right foot meets left foot. You're sitting on both sits bones like a modified boat pose, hands behind your thighs. Lift your heart up super high and then start to lean back. Hollow out the belly a little bit. And then maybe it feels okay for you to lift your shins in line with your knees and your hands towards your feet. Just breathe here. Slide your shoulders back. Slide your throat back. Flex or float your feet so your legs are working. One last breath here. As you exhale, cross your right shin in front of your left shin. Roll over the legs. Plant your palms. Step your left foot back, step your right foot back. You're in plank pose. Spread through the fingers. Take a breath in. Send your heart forward. Curl your tailbone down towards your heels. Breathe. As you exhale, soften your knees to just hover off the mat. As you exhale, slide your sits bones towards your heels. And then push your arms straight. Push your legs towards straight. Come into downward facing dog. It can be a knees bent downward facing dog. You don't have to force anything. Pedal out the feet, the heels if you want. Let's move here. Inhale, ripple forward, plank pose. And just a couple more undulations like that. Exhale, knees hover off the mat. Exhale, push your way back to down dog. You can do a few more of those. Doesn't matter to me how many. Just move with your breath. Good. Inhale, the next time you ripple forward, plank pose, and exhale, just soften the knees to the mat, your back in tabletop. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your heart. As you exhale, coil the knee, left knee towards the nose. Squeeze heel towards sits bone. And then as you inhale, send the leg back behind you. Keep squeezing the heel towards the sits bone like you could tilt the knee up. And then exhale, knee in towards the nose. We'll do 6 more of those. Make your breath audible to you. Keep squeezing heel towards sits bone. Keep your belly strong, your right side body spacious. I'm on the last one, and then a pigeon pose awaits. So the next time your knee is in towards your nose, slide it over towards the left elbow. Thread your left shin towards the top of the mat. Slide your right foot back. Then you can stay propped up on hands, or you can come down into forearms and prepare to be as you are for about 8 breaths. Notice the jaw. Notice the shoulders. Notice the glutes. Stay connected to you. Last 2 breaths. You can prop up onto your hands when you're ready. Come to sit down on your left sits bone. Swing your right leg to the top of the mat. Plant the foot on the floor. Left foot meets right foot. You're sitting on both sits bones, hand behind the thighs. Drop your belly in and back. So you're almost like rounding into a cat spine, and then lift your heart up a lot. If you'd like, you can rock back and lift the shins in line with the knees. Again, flex the feet. Maybe hands reach towards the feet. Just breathe here. Lift your heart. Slide your shoulders onto your back. Soften your jaw. Keep breathing. Last breath in. Cross your left shin over your right. Rock forward over the shins. Plant your palms. Step your right foot back. Step your left foot back. You're in plank pose. Exhale. We'll soften the knees to hover. Shift your way back to down dog. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, ripple forward, come to plank. Exhale, lower your knees. Be mindful which knee guides the way. As you exhale, seat towards heels. Hands rooting into the ground very evenly. Hug your arm bones together, downward facing dog. Inhale, ripple forward. Exhale, lower just your right knee to the mat. As you inhale, lift your left leg high to the sky. Exhale, put your left toes down. Inhale, scoop the knee in towards the belly. Exhale, soften the shin to the mat. Inhale, left leg floats up. Exhale, toes tap down, knee scoops into the belly, same breath. Inhale, tap down with the knee and the shin. Inhale, lift the leg. Exhale, toes down, knee up. Do 3 more just like that. Inhale. Exhale, core plank. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, core plank. Last one, inhale. Exhale, left toes down. Keep your knee just as it is. Slide the left foot back, 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 back. So your right heel's coming towards your right sits bone. And then fire up your left leg, big quad stretch. Stay for a moment. Good. And then spin your left heel down. Spin your right shin out. And then float your left fingertips to the sky for a modified side plank pose. Send your left arm overhead, look down. Reach the left fingertips towards the mat. Inhale, circle the left arm up and open and back towards your left foot. Roll your right shoulder onto the back. 2 more big half circle, half moons, just like that. And the next time your left arm is reaching up and over, find your left hip. Slide your left knee in to meet your right knee. Push yourself up to stand on the knees, hands to hips. I took this upper back stretch from my friend Molly O'Neill. So cross your left arm in front of you, left hand finds right shoulder, and then right hand finds your left shoulder. So you're just like giving yourself a hug, a little security blanket. Lift up. And then side lean to the right. So you'll feel a little stretch in your left side body. Look down and then keep your right shoulder where it is. Just kind of turn this into a twist, like drop your left shoulder in towards the midline. And then lead with your chest. Circle the chest through center. And then left shoulder dips over to the left. Your right shoulder is in towards the midline, like you have a twist here. Then roll your right shoulder onto your back, like you're peeling your chest up. And then we'll reverse. Right shoulder dips in, like a twist. Lead with your chest, come through center. Right shoulder drops over to the right. You're in a twist. Left shoulder peels open with your chest. Come up through center. Release your hands. Right foot steps to the top of the mat. Toes point forward, knee bends. Slide your right hand inside the right ankle. Left hand reaches overhead. Find the base of your skull. So soften the connection that your head is making to your hand. And then bend your right elbow. Push your right knee into your right elbow and feel that big groin stretch. Take a few breaths here. Your left hand is touching the base of your skull as a reminder to stay soft. And your right elbow and your right inner thigh are connecting as a reminder to keep widening your right knee. Take one more breath here. Make it long and soft and smooth. Float your left fingertips up. Lift up through like a modified warrior two. Left hand finds left heel. Right palm flips, sail up and back like a reverse warrior. As you exhale, cartwheel your hands down to frame your right foot. Spin your left shin back in space. Tuck your left toes. Lift your left knee. Step your left foot forward to meet your right. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Keep your knees bent. Roll your way up to stand. Shoulders up by the ears. Slide them down your back. Fingertips reaching towards the floor. Inhale, arms to the sky. Look up. Exhale, widen the arms. Soften the knees. Hinge at the hips. Fold. Inhale, find a halfway lift. Exhale, plant your palms. Right foot steps back. Left foot steps back. Plank pose. Breathe in. Exhale, lower to the belly or pass through chaturanga. Untuck your toes. Inhale. It's a baby cobra or an up dog. You choose. Shoulders rolling down your back. Neck is long. Ears sliding back. Throat back. Exhale, downward facing dog. That's where we'll meet. Inhale, ripple forward, come to plank. Exhale, lower just your left knee to the mat. Inhale, float your right leg up. As you exhale, right toes down, left knee in. Do 8 of those. Last few. Beautiful. The next time your right toes find the back of the mat, let them slide back. Keep your left shin just as it is. Bring your left seat towards your left heel. And then lift your right leg a lot. The toes are down. Lift the knee a lot. Big thigh stretch. Circle the right heel down. Spin the left shin out. Right fingertips float up towards the sky. And then make a few half moons. Just side body stretch. Keep your left shoulder rolling onto your back. Maybe your head follows your arm. Maybe not. The next time your right arm arcs up and over, land the hand on your hip. Right knee meets left knee. Push yourself up to stand on the shins or the knees. Right hand crosses over in front of the left, to the left shoulder. Left hand crosses over like you're giving yourself a hug. And then lean over to the left. Spin your right shoulder in and down. Lead with your chest. Circle through cat spine through the center and dip your right shoulder down. Left shoulder is kind of in towards midline and then lift your chest. Stay in that side bend. Left shoulder dips in. Leads you through center. Take a twist, leaning over to the left and then peel your chest up. Right shoulder slides back. Inhale, come through center. Release your hands. Left foot steps towards the top of the mat, toes point forward. Left hand slides inside the left shin, right hand to the base of the skull. Lean your head back into your hands. Soften your left elbow, widen the knee. As you're doing that, resist the elbow by pushing the knee in against the elbow. Big inner groin stretch. Your right hand is reminding your head, your jaw, the sides of your neck, your throat to stay soft. Last breath here. Inhale, right fingertips to the sky. Pull yourself up like a reverse warrior. Right hand finds right heel, left fingertips sail up and back. Inhale through a modified warrior two. Exhale, hands to the mat. Right shin points straight back behind you. Tuck your toes, lift your knees, step your right foot to meet your left foot. Inhale, look up halfway from here. Exhale, fold. Soften your knees, roll your way up to stand, arms to the sky, look up. Exhale, hands to heart center, chin to chest, just pause, breathe. Release your hands down at your sides. Inhale, float the arms up and overhead. Exhale, follow your breath all the way back down to a fold. Inhale, hands to shins. Plant your palms, step your left foot back, step your right foot back, plank pose again. Exhale, belly, chaturanga, skip it, you choose. Inhale, baby cobra, upward dog, present your heart, roll your shoulders onto your back, use your legs. Exhale, downward facing dog pose. Breathe in and out. Inhale, right leg to the sky. Exhale, step your right foot to the top of the mat. Spin your left heel down. Reach your right hand for the inside of your right ankle. Left fingertips slide up and open. Extended side angle pose variation. Maybe your left fingertips reach overhead. Maybe your hand finds the base of that skull. Like that was a good reminder to keep your neck soft. Knee pushes into elbow, elbow pushes into knee. Push into the blade edge of your left foot. Feel your left side body open. As you inhale, left fingertips pull you up. Straighten your right leg, hands to hips. Turn your left toes out. Bend your knees, goddess pose. Inhale, send your arms forward. Exhale, fists come towards your hips, bend your elbows. And then inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, fists to hips, elbows bend. Inhale, arms forward, reach. Exhale, fists to hips. We'll keep going just like that. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, lower the fists, bend the elbows. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale. We'll do two more. Fist to hips. Inhale, straighten the legs, reach the arms overhead. Turn your toes and heels out as you exhale. Fold forward. Let your head go, let your neck go, let your jaw go. If it feels okay, if it feels right, you can kind of rock, weight from side to side, like a mini Skandasana kind of flow. Crawl your way back towards the top of the mat. Frame out your right foot, spin up onto the ball of your left foot. Step your right foot back to meet your left foot. Vinyasa. Make them your own. We'll meet in dog. Inhale, left leg to the sky. Exhale, step your foot between your palms. Spin your right heel down. Left hand inside left ankle. Right arm reaches up. This variation of extended side angle pose. Push your elbow into your knee. Scoop your left sits bone underneath you. Maybe your right hand finds the base of your skull again. Just that reminder to keep your neck soft. I can feel mine being really active. So what can you soften here? Big effortful pose. Not everything has to be working super hard. Inhale, let your right fingertips pull you up to stand, hands to hips. Straighten your left leg. Turn your toes into an angle. Right toes in. Goddess pose, round 2. This time slide both of your hands in towards your ankles. Use your elbows to widen your knees. And just kind of sit down a little bit. Rock weight from side to side. When you're ready, hands to the mat, hips to the sky, toes turn in, heels widen. Give yourself just a few moments to loosen, to shake everything out. Crawl your way back towards the top of the mat. Frame out your left foot, step back to plank. Vinyasa or no vinyasa, totally up to you. I'm going to skip this round. From downward facing dog. Right leg floats up. As you exhale from here, step your right foot wide of your right hand. Lower your left knee down. This is where we're going to do a little bit of a hamstring opener flow. So if you want your blocks, grab them. We're going to create a nice rhythm here. So I'll guide you through the first, and then you can do a couple rounds on your own. As you inhale, reach your right fingertips forward, up, and open. So you're in a twist. Reach for your back foot. As you exhale, circle your right hand down, touch the floor, and then inhale to straighten your right leg. You can stay wide. Bend into the right knee. Reach the right fingertips up, open behind you. Reach the arm back overhead and down. And then push the right leg straight. Bend back into the right knee. And then make that your own, right? So it really doesn't matter to me what movement you're coordinating to the breath. What matters most is that you're letting yourself really get lost in the rhythm of the movement you're creating. That's all that matters. Just breathe. The next time you find yourself in a hamstring stretch, stay there. So it's like a wide-legged kind of half split. Tent up on fingertips and let your spine really round. Let your ears kind of meet your shoulders. And then spin onto the inner more part of your right heel and drag your right heel and your left knee towards each other. Feel how that plugs your right hip into the socket. From your cat spine, inhale, keep the legs just as they are, send your heart forward. Last breath in. Stay for the breath out, please. As you inhale, bend back into your right knee. Climb your right hand up onto your right thigh. Push down into your leg. Peel your chest open. Stack your right shoulder on top of your left shoulder. Roll your left shoulder onto your back. Now, if you want more here, you can bend the left knee and reach for your left foot with your right hand. Take a bow. If you have the bow, release gently, foot back to the mat, right hand down inside right foot, tuck your left toes, lift your left knee, and then spin the left heel down, crawl all the way to Skandasana at the back of the mat. Pivot your way back to the top of the mat, frame your right foot with your hands. If you have blocks, you might want them standing split here, please, left leg to the sky. Now bend your left knee, squeeze your heel in towards your sits bone. As you exhale, put a little bend in your right knee, coil the left knee towards the nose without losing that connection of heel towards sits bone. Inhale, just like you did in that table, squeeze the heel towards the sits bone, almost like you could reach your left knee up. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, knee towards the sky, heart forward, exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, reach the knee back, 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 pause. Put a little bend in your right knee, lengthen your right side body, kick your left leg straight back behind you, modified warrior 3. Exhale, left foot steps down to meet the right foot. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, knees bend, arms rise, chair pose just for a hot sec. As you exhale, stand, hands behind the low back, interlace your fingers or grab opposite elbows. Take a breath and peel your heart up. As you exhale, hinge and fold. Elbows or big fists reach up and overhead. Let your head go, let your neck go, let your jaw go. Release your hands softly to the ground. Step your way back. Just downward facing dog will do for here, for now. Feel the difference side to side. Send your left leg skyward. Step your left foot wide of your left hand. Soften your right knee down. Same flow. Inhale. Left fingertips reach forward, up. Open, back. Circle your left hand up. Forward and down. Push your left leg straight. That's the rhythm. You can make it your own. If there's something that feels like it's calling to you in your body that I'm just not having a sensation of in my body, add it. Add that on. You know, we all just do different things during the day. And I know we know that, but what we forget sometimes, what I forget sometimes, is just those habitual movements. They affect the body. And tension is really just stress finding a place to live in your body. And we definitely all stress out differently. So there's no right way, there's no wrong way. My shapes really might not look like your shapes. It's not an aesthetic. That's arbitrary. The next time you find yourself in what feels like a hamstring stretch for you, stay there. Let the toes flick up towards your face, and then let your spine really round. Give yourself permission to do that today. Drag your front heel and your back knee towards each other. Feel your left hip crease slide back. Ooh. Breathe. And for this last breath, keep your legs as they are. Send your heart forward. It doesn't have to be towards cow spine. Just feel the difference that changing the arrangement of your upper body has on your lower body, right? We are all connected. Bend slowly back into your left knee. Climb your left hand up onto your left thigh. Push down and forward with the thigh so you're giving yourself a big deep stretch. And then if you'd like, you can bend your back knee and reach your left hand for your right foot. Feel what you feel. Stay with your breath. Soften, but it's just not necessary for you to be gripping with right now. So your jaw's not going to help you here. Your eyeballs, your eyebrows aren't going to help you here. Release your foot if you have it. Put the left hand down inside the left foot. Tuck your right toes, lift your right knee. Pivot your way back to Skandasana. And then crawl back to the top of the mat. Last little bit of effort. Walk your hands forward, right leg to the sky, standing split. Notice what happens when you put a little bend in your left knee, how that gives you more room to lengthen your left side body. And then bend your right knee definitely a lot. Squeeze the heel towards the sits bone, and then exhale, knee towards the nose. Inhale, send the leg back without losing the bend in the knee. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, send the knee back, heart forward. Exhale, knee in towards the nose. Squeeze heel towards sits bone. Inhale, last one. And then rebend your left knee that tiny little bit. Straighten your right leg. It's warrior three variation. Lengthen your left side body. Send your heart forward, shoulders back. Breathe in. Exhale. Right foot meets your left foot. Inhale, halfway lift. Fold forward. Inhale, knees bend, arms rise, chair pose. Exhale, rise to stand. Interlace the fingers, left thumb on top, or take opposite elbows. Drag your heart up high. As you exhale, bend the knees, fold forward. Big fist or elbows reach overhead. Let your head go, let your neck go, let your jaw go. Nod, shake. Flubber the lips, go right ahead. Release your hands, stay low. Let your belly stay stickered to your thighs and slide your hands underneath your feet. Let the toes push down into the wrist creases. Really rock your weight forward. A little release for the wrists. Straighten your legs as much as you can do so safely, comfortably. You don't have to push yourself beyond what feels comfortable today. Slide your hands out from underneath your feet. Wiggle your feet as wide as the mat. Turn your toes out. Bend your knees. You can use a block or not. Take a malasana shape, hands to heart. Elbows widen the knees, knees resist the elbows. Lift your heart up. Squeeze your sits bones in. Lower down. Seat all the way to the mat. Cross your right shin in front of your left shin. We'll take a seated hip opener this morning, or this evening, gosh. Hands alongside your hips. Just lift your seat up a little bit so you can evenly sit down on your sits bones. Walk your hands forward. If you have a block, it might feel really nice to rest the forehead on a block. Feel your breath fill up your belly. Feel your breath fill up the side body. Feel your breath fill up the back body, the low back, the middle back, the space behind the heart. Do less with your hip. Do less with your seat. Do less with your glutes. Last breath or two here. When you're ready, use your hands, roll yourself up. Release your hands to the back of the mat. Anything that feels right on the wrist is okay. So fingertips can fan out. Your fingertips can point behind you. We'll take an upward facing tabletop. You'll know what's most right for your wrist. Put your right foot on the mat. Put your left foot on the mat. Push into your hands. Push into your feet. Lift your hips to the sky. Roll your shoulders onto your back. Lift your chest. Push into your feet. Keep the big toe ball mounds connected to the ground, the outer heels connected to the ground. If you want, you can slide your throat back, or you can just totally let your head release behind you. Last breath in when you're ready. Just slowly sit down on your bottom once again. Left shin in front of right shin. Tent up on fingertips. Lift your seat a tiny bit so you can sit evenly down on your sits bones. And then fold forward. This side will be different. Let yourself get more and more subtle here. So, you know, in yoga and a lot in life, right? The way you do one thing is the way you do everything, which isn't like a life sentence. It's just not. It means that, from my perspective, everything becomes an entry point, right? So even in this hip opener, and I do this hip opener all the time because it feels like I get at the things I need to get at, like the hip, but it doesn't put any pressure on the knee for me. And it has this introspective feeling, this forward fold. So I do it all the time. I love this. I love this pose. But that doesn't mean it's easy, and it doesn't mean I'm always able to access that like soft place right away. Notice your fingertips, like the pads of each of your 10 fingers. Granted, you have 10 fingers. If you don't, however many fingers you have. Feel the finger pads and soften the connection that you are making to your sense organs, right? It's an entry point. And then notice as you soften the connection that you're making with your fingertips, the way that maybe it makes you more aware of the tension you have in your shoulders, the tension that you have in your jaw. And miraculously, awareness brings us closer to intention, right? Just take a few more breaths right here as you are. Anytime you're ready, there's really no sense of having to rush here. Roll your way up to sit. Release your hands behind you in the way that's comfy for the wrists, for that upward facing table. We're not going to do an active back bend tonight unless you really want to. So this is the last back bend really of practice. Left foot to the floor, right foot to the floor. Make it meaningful for you, right? So whatever you need to get out of this moment, shoulder opener, hip opener, you're welcome to straighten the legs. Let your head slide back. We did a lot of thigh opening. And then lower your seat. Keep your feet on the floor. Reach your hands forward. Hollow out the belly. Roll your way all the way down onto your back. Let the arms widen out to a T. Now we're nearing Shavasana. We have about 10 minutes. I would love to make this like just a really juicy relaxation period. It's 7:05. Yeah, I changed the clock. It's 7:05. So for Shavasana, if you want to take a supported bridge before you go to Shavasana, go for a supported bridge. If you want to set up at the wall, put your legs at the wall. If you want to use your blocks for like a Supta Baddha Konasana, we really did everything this evening. So anything you want to do is perfection, right? Set yourself up with the amount of socks you need, the amount of blankets that you need. And if you aren't sure what to do and you're having a moment of like indecisive crisis, take Supta Baddha Konasana, set your feet up together, let your knees drop out wide, and slide your blocks or the pillows from your couch under the outer thigh so that you have this nice sense of support. And then if it's if you're in a place that's supported enough for you to kind of roll your head around, just kind of release some tension from the neck. Go right ahead and do that. If you're in a place where it makes sense to take a peek at your feet and kind of roll the ankles around, do that. If you're in a position that makes you feel like you want to just completely start zoning out and starting your rest right this second, do that. If you're feeling not quite ready for stillness, you don't have to settle into that yet. I'm going to give you a subtle task. If you feel like your brain's still going and you need something to focus on, as slowly as you can, right? We'll practice this fingertip as an entry point. Connect your thumb and your pointer finger. And then open your hand very slowly, do this. And then connect your thumb and your middle finger. As softly as you can, inhale to open the palm wide, connect thumb and ring finger. Open palm wide, connect thumb and pinky finger. And open your hand wide. Do that on one hand and then the second hand and then reverse. Start to slow your breath. Feel the contact that your physical shape, that barrier that you have, the thing that separates your inner world from your outer world. Feel that connected to the earth, the entry point, our shared experience of humanity. And you did a lot of work to create this container. Let it dissolve. With your exhalations, let your skin suit melt. And with your exhalations, let your layer just inside your skin suit, your fascial system, um, your subcutaneous, your underskin layer, let that soften. With your exhale, let the layer below, all the layers of the skin soften. So there's this like extracellular fluid. It's this matrix of watery mix. It suspends your organs. It protects your skeletal system. Soften. Take a big breath in. Do less. As you exhale, let yourself do less. The last few moments here. Just do less. Stay as you are in this radically simple version of you. And just notice the way in which your practice can really affect the whole system. The breath, the body, perhaps, hopefully, even the mind. And then come back to life. Bring yourself back to movement, back to doing what feels sweet, what feels kind. You're welcome to roll over onto your left side, your lunar side. Use your hands to push yourself up to a seat very slowly. There's no rush still. Bring your hands together in front of your heart when you arrive in your seat and bow your chin with reverence, with gratitude towards your own chest. The place that you just created, it's accessible. It's always accessible. Your internal world. Thank you all so much for being here this evening, for sharing this experience. It's just my absolute pleasure to be part of this group of people. I bow to all of you. Namaste, my friends.